And we are now live. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to this live stream with me and my special guest today from the UK. There has been, well, there has been some very interesting stuff going on. Amy, she is with me today, and she was arrested by the police here the other day for telling someone, quote, have a gay day. And she gets the police all over her house, and I don't really know what to say. I mean, this is today, as you might know, some stuff has happened with Tommy Robinson. I'm not sure how much I can talk about that since there is a gagging order about that. Maybe we will talk a little bit about that later. But today's focus is about Amy. She was arrested here just a couple of days ago by the police for something completely insane. So she's here to tell her story today, and you might have seen her videos out on YouTube, but it's been on Periscope, where she was arrested. And yeah, thank you so much for coming today, Amy.
Thank you, Peter, for having me. And I'm still, it's been a couple of days since the whole thing happened, and I'm still not really sure what is going on. And obviously, with what happened with Tommy today, things have gone. It feels like everything's gone up a notch. We are in extremely frightening times for law-abiding people who just want to question what is going on in the country. It is there doesn't seem to be anybody that has any sort of power that is taking control of the madness that's going on with the police and their absolute abuse of power that they're using. And it's all gone mad, and I actually still I don't really feel that secure right now. I mean, which is to think I'm in England, 2018, and I feel insecure in my own home, not because of criminals, but because of the police.
Because of the state.
Because of the people who are supposed to be looking after us or protecting us. I'm actually concerned because of what they did 2 days ago, that they could come again, because what they came 2 days ago for was a complete total fabrication of, it was an imaginary crime. So
and you supported this Day for Freedom event that happened as well. You can kind of get a feeling that might maybe have something to do with this. Who knows? But from what I understand, you told me earlier that I mean, what happened that got you arrested? You told me that something happened at the parking lot, and you told someone have a gay day. Can you tell us a little bit more about what happened there?
It was just a normal day at a supermarket car park. I got a bit fed up because I've got a lot of physical issues, and I need disabled bays for parking, and I just get so frustrated when I see people parking who are able-bodied. They don't have a badge, and they just park there because they feel like it. And I just, most of the time I don't say anything, but just that day I thought, I saw one person already do it. So the second person, I said to him, I called to him to say, that's a disabled bay. And he, whatever his day was like, I obviously said the wrong thing. And he came to me very insulted with, how dare I question him. And he was very tall. He was about 6 feet tall and probably late 30s and very angry. And he just was so instantly annoyed that I don't really recall too much, because as the event happened and when it finished, it really wasn't that big a deal as far as an issue. So I didn't sort of record everything in my mind in case I needed it, because it was just a something and nothing. Anyway, he was cross, and he was rude to me. So as he walked away, I just said, "Have a gay day."
And the thing as well, in the old Queen's English, the word gay actually means happy, jolly. So really, you didn't say anything. You just said basically have a happy day. That's basically all you told him.
It's like, it shows you when you kill with kindness. When somebody's really mad, and you, instead of responding with anger, which just doesn't get anything, if you sort of diffuse things by cracking a joke or being super nice, I mean, sometimes that's more powerful. So by saying what I said, it was, yeah, that's what I said. I just said it. And I didn't expect his reaction, which was, again, he was just mad. He was in a bad mood. He must have been in a bad mood. Must have got out the wrong side of bed, because he came back at me and he was very close. He was, standing and yelling at me. And I said, could you just step back? Because he was in the space, my space. I said, could you stand back or stand back? And instead of standing back, he stood forward. He came right into me, bent over. I mean, he's towering over me, finger in my face. And I really thought he was going to hit me. So I just instinctively pushed him back, just pushed him away from me. And I said, get away from me. And he was yelling. And just at that point, the security guard just happened to appear between us. I said, okay, calm down, calm down, calm down. And, the man said, oh, that's assault. And he started to walk away. And I thought, oh, come, give me a break. What? And so he went off and he got his phone. And the security guard asked me if I was okay, because obviously he saw what happened. And he said, do you want me to be a witness for you? And I said, yes, please. If I need it, but for what? I didn't really know. Nothing had actually happened other than
it wasn't really a huge deal. It was just a small matter, really, in the public.
Verbal encounter. Plus, he, came at me. So anyway, so I said, yeah, I had to, sit in my car because it did shake me up. I have to say, it was very intimidating. So I just needed to gather myself. And the next thing I know, in fact, I now remember, is that he reappeared, this guy, and started taking pictures of me and my car, and I'm like, oh my God, what is he doing? Anyway, then he disappeared, and the day went on and my life went on, and nothing happened until about 2 weeks later, Sunday afternoon, sitting in my flat on my computer, and without warning, my living room window opens from the street, and it's a policeman's head. And he said, did he open the door? I mean, he didn't even knock on the window. He didn't, nothing. He just opened my window, which happened to be the same window that somebody broke into 5 years before when I was in bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. So that particular window opening really, really freaked me out. But anyway, I thought, what? So I just quickly thought, okay, this is weird. So when weird, pick your phone up and start filming, because you just don't know what's going to happen, especially when it comes to the police. So I filmed it, and it was the most bizarre encounter, because I had 2 uniformed officers on a Sunday afternoon. And I tell you what, you would have more luck finding truffles in a forest than seeing 2 uniformed police officers on a Sunday afternoon in the same place. So I thought, what's going on? And I let them in. I posted the video on YouTube because it was a bizarre encounter. They wanted to talk to me about something that had happened, and I thought, okay, yeah, I knew what it was. It was like, really? So anyway, it was ridiculous. They wanted me to say what happened, and they were filming. They had the little cameras going. I'm in my hallway with these 2 officers. They're wanting me to tell them something. So I completely thought, no, alarm bells went off. I did not. I just said, well, what? What did I say? What did I do? What did I say exactly? And they wouldn't tell me. So I got them annoyed. They got frustrated. They were threatening me with I said, what did I do? I didn't break a law or anything. I said, yes, you did. Public Order Act, section, they didn't even know which one. It said 5-4, something like that, something, whatever, something to do with homophobic. And I said, what? What's a homophobic? What? They wouldn't tell me. And then they said, well, you just can. I said, how would I know he's homosexual? We didn't have a chat. It's a personal life. Anyway, and I kid you not, the conversation on YouTube, I filmed it. It's got 40,000 views or whatever, because it was an unreal conversation. Anyway, they wanted me to say, I wouldn't say it. I kept asking them questions. They got fed up and they started to go. And they said, right, we're going. And as they were leaving, I said, wait a minute, I said, well, if you're not going to cooperate, we're going to investigate this to the fullest extent. Because that's right. I asked them if they'd spoken to the witness. I said, did you speak to the witness? Before they came to me, which was 2 weeks, they said, no, we didn't speak to the witness. Why would we speak to the witness? I said, oh, gee, I wonder why. Maybe because You wouldn't be here if you'd spoken to him.
So let me get this straight. You got into a brawl with, well, a little bit of a small fight.
Don't exaggerate, Peter. God, are you media or what? A brawl?
Someone attacked you basically in the parking lot.
Yeah,
and you basically just more or less just told him off, and were actually very polite, said "have a gay day," which actually means "have a happy day" in the old English.
And, have a gay day.
And then the police come. Then a couple of weeks later, the police comes to your house and barges in and says that you're homophobic because basically you were nice to this guy.
And
I don't know what to say. What's going on?
Hasn't even finished yet, Peter, because that was then. Then they go off saying they're going to investigate to the fullest extent, and I'm like, what? Because I said have a gay day. You know, what the hell? How much of an investigation is that? So they go off. I hear nothing for another few weeks before I get a letter saying, could you come for an informal interview? I thought, what? But what the hell's that? So I went back to the shop to find the guy who was my witness to find out what happened, if he'd spoken to the police, because I thought, wait a minute, you know, I shouldn't be getting this letter, because if he would just say the guy was aggressive and came for me. So I went, and he didn't really want to talk to me. And I thought, oh, wait a minute, you're my witness, remember? Mine? And he didn't really want to talk to me. Anyway, I've sort of persuaded him to talk, and he reluctantly told me that when he tried to tell them what happened and that the guy was being aggressive, he said the police didn't actually want to know. They didn't want to know about what he did. They just wanted to know if I'd used one hand or two to push him away. Right? And I thought, oh my God.
What? So it's like they almost made up their mind who was the extrajudicial justice. They already made a mind up in advance who was the guilty one before any court proceedings. That's kind of scary.
That explains why I've got the letter, because they didn't want to know the truth. So I thought, okay, and I actually completely spaced out on the interview thing. I missed it completely. The lawyer phoned me up, the one that I needed, because I don't have one. I asked for one, and so they sent me the paperwork. I had to reset the date to go to this, interview, which I don't even know. And it said in this paperwork that I had committed a homophobic hate crime. I'd apparently, this is hilarious, homophobic hate crime and common assault. Okay, common assault, and that apparently I'd said, you guys, or you gays, or you type of people, and now get ready for this, Peter. I apparently put my finger to my lip, and wiggled my hips, which I didn't do. It's like, what? I put my finger to my lip and wiggled my hips. What? I mean, you couldn't make
what's that supposed to mean? what kind of crime is that? I forgot. I didn't see that.
Look it up in the new thesaurus of the hate crime, homophobic. So I thought, oh my God, what?
Oh, did they say it was homophobic for you to put your hand in your lip and wiggle your hips?
Well, they didn't specify whether it was because I said you guys or you type of people. Okay, no swearing. I didn't swear. No name called, nothing. It was you guys. I mean, it's outrageous, Peter. It really is an outrage. So, and I swear to you, this is, if I could find the piece, I don't have the paperwork. Oh, wait, no, I don't have it. It says what I actually apparently said, because I didn't say it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's so funny. And of course, so anyway, so apparently as well, right? Not only, my terrible, this is what they're accusing me of, is that not only did I say that, but when the police came to talk to me about the matter, I didn't let them in. Even though on YouTube, you've got a 6 to 8 minute video of me letting them in and having a conversation with them. So I thought, wow, they really don't like me. So I had a date for the next interview. So when I went to the next one, I wanted to record it myself, have my own recording. Well, ixnay on the recording, because the police officer didn't want me to do it, said no. I said, can you tell me where it says that I can't actually have my own? Where does it say it? Well, that was it. Not doing it. Go, be gone. I said, but no, I'm here to give my version. I'm here. Here I am. No, go away. I said, no, look, okay, it's off. It's off. Look, it's off. I said to my lawyer, I said, look, look, it's off. Tell her it's off. Tell her I'm here. I saw what happened. I said, no. So I thought, right, okay, I'm recording this bit. So I started recording. I said, look, can you tell that? Say that I am here willingly, ready to give my version, and the police officer will not let, because I knew, it was going to be, didn't cooperate, refuse, whatever. I thought, no. Anyway, I said, I was banished. I said, so what happens now then? If you're not letting me give my side, so what happens next? I'm going to have to speak to my superiors. That was it. And then nothing. So a few weeks went by. And so, of course, by that time, I thought, wait a minute. So I needed to talk to my witness. And, he works at the shop. So I was just so puzzled. Thought, wait a minute. So they pressured it. They didn't want to know his story. So, surely he wants to tell the truth. What happened? What he saw. So anyway, I just went back to talk to him, recorded the interview. I said, not the interview, but I just was recording to say, look, please you saw what happened. You saw him come for me, and he said, but you said this, whatever I was supposed to have said. I said, but no, what did you hear? What did you hear? He said, what? He said, you said. I said, no, you're as a witness, it's supposed to be what you heard and what you saw, not what somebody else told you. He didn't get it. And then he said, well, I'm both your witnesses. I said, what? No, you can't be both. No. I mean, you could be separate if you observed something and say, well, I saw this happening, but you said you'd be my witness for what he did to me. He said, well, you're hassling me. You're what was it? Well, these words that people use that are just, what is it? What is it when somebody gets pressure? No, wait, what's the
Blackmail?
Harassment? You're harassing me, right? I'm like, what? I'm just asking you to tell the truth and just to let you know that, because of what you said or didn't, they're charging me with things I didn't do and you know it. So, it's harassment. I said, oh my God, now you're going to tell them. He's going to tell them. So, because on the record, it said when I'd gone to see him the first time. So I thought, oh Christ. So I left. And that was a couple of weeks ago. And then Wednesday morning. What?
They come again.
My door. I'm like, what? Open the door. Oh, what? Anyway, it's the recording. I find it hard to watch it myself because I felt like I just stepped into Psycho, and where's the guy? I don't know if you've seen that film. It's an old film.
No, I don't watch much films.
Horror film way back from the 60s. People my age will know what I'm talking about. So anyway, so there you go. So somebody was thumping on my front door, telling me to open the door at 9 o'clock, 8:45 in the morning. What? Police, open the door. Open the door. What? So anyway, there's a 5-minute video. And it was, I tell you what, Peter, I stepped into the twilight zone of reality because, they treated me as if I was some heinous criminal who'd done the most abysmal crime. They grabbed me, wrestled me to the ground with absolute not listening. I mean, I opened the bloody door because they threatened to break it down. They were going to break my door down. And because they wouldn't tell me why they were there. I said, why are you there? What? Who called you? Why are you trying to get into my, why? Because they weren't talking to me like, excuse me, I'd like to have a little chat with you. It was, open the door!
So they're brutally coming in.
Huh?
So they're brutally coming in. almost breaking down your door. Just
They were going to break my door, and I thought, I mean, and they shouldn't have been. What they were, she wouldn't give me. She wouldn't say why they were there. Nothing. And I said, "Are you going to?" I said through the door, "I said, are you going to arrest me?" I could tell by their, the voice. I mean, it was a real giveaway of this isn't good. This isn't, can you have a cup of tea? It's like, no, this is not good. So I said, okay, I'm opening the door. I opened the door, and it just went from there. They just, as they were grappling with me, my poor little dog was just like, he thought friends were coming, and then it was, oh my God, what are you doing to my mother? Jesus, hello. Anyway, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was traumatic. It was scary. They didn't care. I mean, the pain, I tell you what, it was just, it's still, I cannot, I say it's just a horror of outrageous brutality from nothing. And I couldn't get what was going on. Then they put the handcuffs around my back. They
handcuffed you.
Round my back. They handcuffed me in my, saying, I think I heard her say, flight risk. I thought, what?
I can say you don't look very much of a flight risk to me.
Like, these people, I thought police were supposed to assess the situation, be able to do a rapid assessment of the, whatever they're doing, and to be able to act appropriately. Well, I can tell you, when they were grabbing me and grappling with me, it was obstruction of justice. I think I heard, I don't know what words were flying around in the air at the time, but it was just all, what the, it was horrible, Peter. I mean, it really was horrific. And they put the bloody handcuffs on. I couldn't even put my shoes on. I was in my pajamas, my gym jams. You guess what? I was frog marched in pain and agony out of my place in my bloody pajamas to the police station. They were, and it was a woman police officer and a man. And the two of them treated me so, it was disgusting. And I didn't know what I was doing there. I didn't know what I'd done. And I don't know if they mentioned a witness, intimidating witness. Like, what? Witness? Oh, my witness? What? I kid you not, Peter. I'm not exaggerating. They took me to the station. Everything, take everything, put me in a cell, and left me for 6 hours without.
So basically, what happened? You had this argument with someone in the parking lot
In January.
You said have a gay day, which only means have a happy day, basically, and then the police come to you for alleged hate crime, homophobia, and then you have apparently intimidated the witness, and then they come and break in your door and put you in handcuffs and take you to the police station. Well, I really have to say that this is starting to remind me of Stasi and Gestapo tactics. This isn't what the British fought against the Nazis 70 years ago to kind of avoid this kind of thing. Now you have basically, pure Gestapo tactics going on in your country. It's so crazy. I don't have words.
Fabrication. Intentional leaving out of details, which was, the fact that they got my witness to change his story. And I mean, if you read to read what they say, and plus it doesn't make sense because on the report, by the way, it said that whenever it was, I'd gone and gave my name and number to the people in the shop. And I said, wait a minute, if I was a guilty party, why would I give my name and number to the, why would I do that? I wouldn't want, unless it was I wanted to talk to the security guard who said he'd be my witness. So could he give me a call when he's at work because I just need a chat with my witness? So, and this whole you guys, I can't remember what it was. It was so ridiculous. The words, they wiggle my hips. Like, what? I don't do that. And I don't say, I'm not in the habit of referring to one person as a you guys, who's a man by himself. He wasn't with somebody else. It was just him. So the narrative is so far, well, it's a lie. And the guy who the guy who had his ego dented just decided to just abuse, to get beaten up. So they came up with a law to protect these people from being threatened, and he has the audacity, because of his hurt feelings, and because
I would struggle to understand why a gay guy would think it would be offensive to say have a gay day anyway. I would have thought they would have kind of liked that. I don't know. I would
well,
have
honestly,
thought they.
I had the response was because I've live streamed. I live streamed the police getting me, because I didn't know they were going to do that. Obviously, I was just going to. Well, I guess I had a feeling it wasn't going to be great, but I really didn't expect. Excuse me, I didn't expect that violence, the level of violence, the brutality, so excessive. And here's the thing. In fact, it was a person who had observed, saw that footage, and he saw on the Day for Freedom at Speaker's Corner. I don't know if you've seen the footage, but I was this young girl, 19, 20 something, confronted me. We were having a, talk about what, I don't know, maybe Islam and the problems. And she was all, in my aggressive, just, bah, 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 bah. I was trying to reason with her. And the next thing you know, she spat in my face. Well, she didn't actually spit in my face, thank God, but she spat. And I just thwacked. She spat and ran. But as she ran, I whacked her with my phone, because I had it on a selfie stick. In a nanosecond, the police were on me like a fly on what. I mean, just from nowhere, and grabbed me. And I go, oh my God, the straight, and they were grabbing me. Right. I said, wait a minute, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it was so weird. Everybody around was worse. They were stunned by what happened with the police getting me. It was like they were there using force. And I was, having my stick. I was like, get off me. I said, what are you doing? It was really sinister. Okay. So, and of course, yeah, the things that obviously with the Speaker's Corner and me talking to the police, trying to tell them about the law. Can you read? I never said that to Max. Can I read out what it says? What you're supposed to be? They didn't like that. So there's a lot of there's in the air that everything is not what it seems, and the response to what I have done is just totally, really, really not good. And I'm telling you now, I'm on bail. Okay. And my bail conditions are very simple. I mean, it's basically I can't go to my favorite shop, which is the supermarket, and I cannot speak to my witness. Trust me, I have nothing to say to my witness, except, well, I do have 2 words to say to him, both begin with DD, but I won't go into it. I won't spell it out. But it's like it's the old saying, with a friend like that, who needs enemies? I mean, really, anytime anybody offers to be your witness for something where you're a victim of, just say no thanks, unless you get the signature and
But it's strange how the witness changed his mind then from wanting to help you to not wanting to help you. Probably, I have a feeling the police maybe spoke with him. I actually had a little bit of a similar experience ourselves in the UK. My parents, their dog was poisoned by some far left extremists, and they took him to the vet, and the vet said, yeah, this was clearly a case of poisoning. The dog barely survived. He was vomiting, paralyzed, he was shaking. He just fell down the stairs, paralyzed in the middle of the night, but luckily he survived. But and the vet said it was a clear case of poisoning. And then my parents reported to the police. And then all of a sudden, that changed the story. Oh no, maybe it's not poisoning anyway. And the police were, yeah, we cannot really say that this was poisoning. It could just have been a coincidence, or washer fluid or wiper fluid or something. Blah 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 blah. So I kind of had a similar experience ourselves there. It's
Let me tell you, Peter, with me, I went on a year ago, just over a year ago, my first ever time to go on one of these marches in Telford, and it was against the raping gangs. I had a brick. I was, just walking with the people. We got round the corner, and there was the stand up to racism. Yeah, we're Nazi, youth coming in, but they're only about 30 feet away. And so I was filming them going, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And next thing you know, boom, my chest. This brick bounced off my chest. I'm like, oh my God. I tell you, I got up my footage on my phone. You can just see the brick. I mean, I didn't see it because I was looking that way, and police were there. I mean, I fell to the ground. I mean, it was a pain. I mean, I've got everything on film. That's the thing, Peter. Everything I've got is on bloody film. Still doesn't do anything. The police got the son of a. There was only one thing thrown that day, and it hit me. And luckily, it hit me on my chest, because when you see it flying through the air, it so easily could have just got me right in the head. Or, I mean, there were women and children and animals, the babies in this walk. I call it. It really was a walk, not a march. It was just a walk. And they got him. They were there. And I thought, right, it's a done deal. It was the only thing that was thrown. Only one thing that was thrown. It got me. Police were right there. Got him. Open and shut case. Months went by. Guess what happened? Well, they came up with a really good story. Apparently, the policeman who got him suddenly thought, oh, should I keep him? Apparently let him go for about 10 minutes whilst they sought advice. And then they got him again. So that 10-minute window meant that they couldn't be sure that they got the person who did it in the first place. I thought, what? What? What do you mean you let him go? What? They saw him do it. They saw him throw the bloody thing. And they let him go. And I'll tell you now. And so the CPS said no. I appealed. I thought, what is going on? The son of a bitch could have killed me. Could have killed me. Could have killed a child. He could have killed anyway. It was a chunk of brick that he lobbed from about 25 feet away. He just lobbed it in the air. Didn't care where it went. And they got him. Let him go. And you know what? There was another one, a couple of, I don't know when it was, a couple of months later. I went to it and I was filming the Antifa, and there were a couple of people, it was about a distance away, and the son of a bitch was there. And he was laughing. And he had, talk about, with this identity thing, right? The guy was about 6 feet tall, long, lanky hair. I mean, scrawny, about as bloody, stand out as you could possibly bloody be. No question of his bloody identity, because he pointed at his head. Went like that to me. I mean, they had to hold me back. I wanted to go and I wanted to smack him. The security wouldn't let me get him. And I thought, I wish he just had looked like a, 5'8", brown hair, whatever, or skin, something where he blended in. And yeah, okay, we're not sure. And you know what happened, Peter? I kid you not. I got on film another policeman who happened to be there, who told me they never let him go. As it happened, because they must have, obviously they have the same police. They have a sort of maybe a whatever going on, these different things. The officer who'd actually nabbed the son of a bitch hadn't let him go. Never let him go. But they decided, we don't want to do this. This is not going to be good. So they let him. Oh my God, Peter, I don't know what it is. What is it about? What happened to law and order and right and wrong and arresting guilty? And
it seems like it's kind of turned a bit on its head in the UK. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting, especially with I'm just going to bring up Tommy Robinson a little bit here now. I am in Norway, so I don't have any gagging order. I'm not sure. You're in the UK, so I'm not sure if you how much you can talk about Tommy, but I'm just going to say a few quick things here.
I'm just going to say, well, I saw the footage, and the footage was him. He got arrested for breaching the peace, which and he was live streaming.
Yeah, and the live stream has been taken down, I think, now as well, because there was a gagging order that came out meaning that no one who is in the UK are allowed to report on what happened to Tommy Robinson.
I'm sorry, democracy. Excuse me, what?
Well, I'm sorry, there's no freedom of the press in the UK anymore. You're not allowed to talk about, and there's been countless articles that has been deleted. So at first, when this happened to Tommy Robinson today, there was loads of articles coming out on The Sun, Breitbart, RT, Daily Mirror. They wrote articles, but all of them have now been deleted because of this gagging order. They're not allowed to report. The only article that's up now that I can find is actually from America, from the Gateway Pundit. My friend Cassandra Fairbanks wrote that article. I recommend everyone to go and read that article. So yeah, Tommy Robinson was arrested. I'm not going to say what I'm not under the gagging order, but I don't want this video to be taken down or anything. So I'm not going to say what happened next, because that is what is under the gagging order. Yeah, everyone can easily find out what happened if they go and check this out on Twitter and YouTube and so on. It's probably out there somewhere.
No, where is the solicitor? Where is the defense? Where is the solicitor to say, excuse me, what was that you said? What? No, he didn't do that, so let him go. What? No, that didn't happen either. I had a crap. Mine. I said, the chocolate teapot is a perfect, whatever you call it, analogy to give for how useful my solicitors were, who were given to me. What is it called? Legal free, whatever. I can't remember now. If you need a lawyer, they give you a lawyer. But the fact that they don't actually want to defend you.
Well, I don't want to defend you if you're on. If they don't like your opinions, it seems. I mean,
I know. Is it my hair?
Just look at what happened to me in the UK, and not many. I haven't gone very public about this for the safety of my parents, but my parents received the death threats from Antifa and so on. And when they reported to the police more or less said that it was our fault because racism, so they wouldn't help us. So it's kind of. It kind of feels like 1984 is very much coming to the UK. It's already here. I mean,
we haven't got freedom of speech anymore. We definitely have freedom of speech. The press are completely, totally not in the sphere of this civil. They're biased 100% to the government. I mean, it's just I can't. But when I say these words, Peter, I feel like, wait a minute, what am I saying? No. Don't be silly. Of course they don't. No, what? That wouldn't happen here. People wouldn't put up with it. But guess what? Yes, they are, and they have, and they're doing it.
And they're celebrating. I've seen loads of leftists, Labour people celebrating. Owen Jones is really happy that Tommy was arrested, and it's crazy. Anyway, my opinion is I don't support everything that Tommy Robinson says or does, but. My opinion is everyone has the right to freedom of speech, whatever you say, whether you're on the left or on the right. And that is what they're doing. They're trying to take away our freedoms that people fought and died for back in World War II. Now they're trying to take that away. And I actually have a good comment here from Super Chat here from Root HKR. Thank you so much, man. He says, when will British pull their heads from their bottoms and overthrow the government, take a stand against this Marxist communist genocide of the West? Thank you so much for your comment there. I wouldn't condone overthrowing any government. That's not how we roll. But
no.
But
no. Listen, here we said. My question. This is what is so disturbing, Peter, and this is why I never thought we'd get to this point. Is that I did think that more people would speak up. I didn't know the press would be so complicit. I did not know that it seemed that everybody in the media in every aspect complies. There's that. It is very sinister, because obviously if the media were on our side, we wouldn't be in this position.
Well, the mainstream media is very much on the wrong side for sure.
but you know, and that I didn't see that. I was a bit naive because I really thought that there'd be enough people who had moral compass working, you know, within reason, that would prevent this madness from continuing. And to me, genuinely, I see only one person in the world who is actually genuinely one of us, and is Donald Trump, President Trump, God Emperor. I swear to God, he is the sane world's only hope of switching the tide back into from away from the madness, because we're
Yeah, but
genuinely.
there's a few other countries as well in Eastern Europe, Hungary, Poland.
I'm
They're
sorry,
quite good.
I'm not talking about the ones that are sorry. Yes, I correct, because Hungary, obviously, that leader definitely. But I'm saying to have an effect on the greater world, because obviously
Yeah,
he's
he's much more
protecting.
he's much more influential.
You know, yeah, he's doing his thing for his country, which is just like so refreshing. But obviously, Donald Trump, for me, he's changing. Well, the Far East, he's just complete. I remember not very long ago when Obama was in, and they were talking about China. They're building these islands in the sea, and this military complex, and old bloody little rocket man was literally firing rockets every other day. You know, and it was like, oh, excuse me, anybody can say anything about this? Anybody? 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 No, no, no. Hello, anybody? Until Donald Trump comes in, it's like, wow.
He's really done the art of the deal, really bringing Rocketman to heel.
But even now, even with this, what's going on now, which no other president, nobody, Donald Trump is in a league of his own. He is the supreme. He has actually the best president in a year and a half. He hasn't even been a year and a half, 1.5 years. He has done more than probably the last 5 presidents put together in their entire terms, all together. What
Oh
he's
yeah,
done,
definitely.
it is absolutely, and for the good, not not screwing around and just getting every. He has done an amazing job, and now even I cannot listen to the radio here. When I listen to the radio and they talk about Donald Trump, they're still, even after this amount of time, what he's achieved, they're still talking about him as some upstart, some it's just Donald Trump. He doesn't know. He wants the Nobel Peace Prize. It's like, no, actually, he didn't. He hasn't asked for it. No, it's everybody else saying he deserves it, and he does. But it's so. Oh well, see, it's all off. What does Donald Trump know? He doesn't. Yeah, he's hopeless. Yeah.
Well, the media is constantly attacking Trump nonstop. They definitely have agenda that we can see for sure.
It's just outrageous. But anyway, listen, look, Peter, we are in a major crisis, because I can tell you now, with what's happened to Lauren Southern, with Whitney Pettibone, the whole generation identity, who are incredible people who just want to save their generation's future, to have some sense of it wasn't even that long ago that things were normal, much more normal than they are. And again, the other thing that I never expected, Peter, was, as well as thinking that there'd be enough people in the press who would say, okay, this is not right, I genuinely believe, I never imagined that the police would have this mindset. It's like they have got they're completely on the wrong side. I mean, they're not even then. I mean, it'd be one thing if they were objective and say, okay, not so good this side, not so good that side, we'll do that. But they're not even close. They're not
No,
even.
they should be objective and tackle and deal the same with anyone, whether they are on the left or on the right. But definitely seems that is not the case. I mean, you look at the Swedish police; they are actually much more. You think of Sweden as being quite a bad country, but Sweden is actually much better than the UK now. I have seen the Swedish police; they actually go after both the far left extremists and the far right extremists, whereas the UK they only focus on one group of people, and that seems to be the right wingers.
Well, that's the thing. It's always and when I saw at Speaker's Corner, okay, when I was talking, when I was actually, I say, when I try to be reasonable when I'm talking, I just do think, okay, let's just talk about this rationally. You know, it says this on this paper. You cannot do this. They seem to be doing what this says they shouldn't be doing. And so when when I'm pointing it out and the police say, yeah, we know, but And you know that if anybody else was doing what they were doing, the police would be saying, excuse me, no, can't do that. There's where the problem lies. It's the total bias, which is unacceptable that's what people want, is just fair treatment.
Well,
And it's not happening.
I think I have an idea why. The British police, there's this group in the UK called Hope Not Hate. I'm sure you've heard of them. They actually doxed me.
I have a spasm. I almost I have an allergic reaction to when I hear.
They actually wrote an article where they doxed me and my parents' addresses in the UK, and after that we got death threats and the dog was poisoned. Anyway, the British police work closely with this Hope Not Hate group, and guess what? The Swedish Defense Ministry. So this is the Swedish Defense Ministry. The Swedish military has come out with a new report where they actually mention Hope Not Hate by name, saying that in a report of far left violent extremists, the Swedish military has actually mentioned Hope Not Hate in a report of far left violent extremists, and these people are working with the British police, and they have a Labour MP in its chair on this board. Yeah, I mean, I think they should. I mean, they should really condemn and take distance themselves from them. But no, they actually work with them. They have close contacts within the British government.
There wasn't that. I don't know if you saw the last we did with Red Pill Phil in Manchester with the police car that had. Did it have Hope Not Hate on its side of its car or something? Oh my god.
No. Yeah, they.
Oh my God, Peter, we're in trouble. God help us.
It's an interesting situation, and by the way, I have a good comment here from someone in the chat here, a super chat there from Candy D. Leon. Thank you so much. She writes, "Let us examine our ways and test them, and let us return to the Lord." And she has a Lamentations 3:40. God bless everyone. Have a good summer. She writes. Thank you so much for that positive comment there. I think everyone needs some positivity here after what has happened, especially with your case.
Let me see if I can find some.
And I also want to give a shout out to
all out of positivity in this room. I'm sorry, no sign.
And I also want to give a shout out to Luke Warner, who donated £5 as well. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. And it helps us keep going to produce this, give you this content. Thank you so much. And
can I just say, it is to talk to you, Peter, because I've admired your work. I've admired your work. That's what I said. Honestly, you are a superstar.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but thank you.
It's just, well, you're the eyes of Europe, because nobody's reporting on what's going on over there. Nobody is reporting except you. I don't see. We never hear anything here. I mean, I haven't put my television on to listen to the news for about a year now, because I just can't cope with the lies. It is truly sickening, and it's so surreal. It really is surreal to know that. And I never thought of myself as saying any of this stuff where you just hear this conspiracy theory, and it's just bizarre how widespread the apathy, or apparent apathy. If I go out in the street and I said, God, you know what happened to, I say, who? What? Oh, isn't it great? Yeah, let's go for a picnic this weekend. Or what's on the television, the goggle box. Yeah, so petty. And you think, no, there's really big things going on right on your doorstep, and you're oblivious to it. They don't know. There's so much going on, Peter, and what you're doing, I'm just hoping that it's not. Well, I know. Unfortunately, it's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse, because it already has got worse, and it's got to a point where I never thought we'd be. I never thought I'd be here having a conversation with you about police brutality, about completely fabricated things. I mean, because it's me and I know what happened and I know what I didn't do and I did do, I swear on all that's holy, I did nothing wrong. Nothing. And for that, I'm now on bail. And I feel that because of how they got me, and they took my phone.
Wait, they took your phone?
Yeah, they took my phone.
What?
They took my phone, and that was my solicitor telling me. She told them. She said, "I guess you want her phone now, right?" I said, "What?"
Well, that seems like a very good solicitor.
Oh, she was like, "No." I'm like, "What?" And then she said, "Yeah, and you better give them your pen because otherwise, if you don't give them your pen, then they're gonna, not see your phone for a year." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what?" I'm thinking, I know.
They tried that with Lauren Sodden as well. She refused to give them her pin.
Oh well, they succeeded with me because I was by that time 10 hours. I was like,
It doesn't really matter because they have tools. They just hack your phone anyway and get in anyway. They have a machine that just plug it into the phone and they get in anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
well, because I have remotely silenced my phone. I just feel
I think the police have special tools that can just get into your phone just easily. It's interesting stuff going on. But so they took your phone, and I mean, obviously now, how do you feel now? You must feel scared, or what's going on?
I tell you, I would not be surprised because I wouldn't be surprised at any time if I hear my door. Because I survived when I was in the cell. Okay, knowing I'd done nothing wrong, being brutally arrested for doing absolutely nothing. And when I looked at the paperwork, according to the paperwork, the reason for my arrest was because of a vulnerable child, or it was for the safety of a vulnerable child, or this. I'm like, child? What? Are you trying? What child? There's no child. So they fabricated the reason for my arrest was because of a vulnerable child. And I'm like, okay, and they got away with it. And my lawyer told me to give I mean, I have nothing. When you're in a cell and the people who are on the other side of the door don't give a rat's behind about your well-being, and you have no way of getting to the outside world but for them, and it is the most. It just feels so. The vulnerability, the powerlessness.
And here's the thing that gets me. They have 23,000 jihadis walking the streets in the UK. They have grooming gangs. They have thousands of young girls that's been raped in grooming gangs. Yet the only thing they're interested in is going after ladies like you who just said have a happy day to someone. And because I was homophobic, apparently.
There's no police. There's no police. If anything happens, there's when I did a couple of years ago, there was an incident, and I phoned up because somebody got beaten up in the street, and I was a witness, and I went to give a report, and I said, "What took you so long?" And he said, "There's only 6 of us in the whole couple of counties. They had to bring people from. I mean, this is a big area, and they have no manpower. It's been stripped, so it's even worse, Peter. Not only are they not even trying to tackle what the real crime, they are wasting God knows how much money on non-crime, absolute nothing. And even this thing, I've only seen the rumors about this 6 years or something for hate speech. Like, my God, all people ever talk about is how full the prisons are. There's not enough prison spaces for hardened criminals. Now they want to actually imprison people for like me. Like, oh my God, the world has literally flipped on its axis, and we're still in the middle of this,
It's absolutely crazy. I mean, the story about and no one in the mainstream media has talked with you about what happened to you. No, they completely ignored it. It seems. Has anyone contact you from the mainstream media or?
There's been a couple of people. One person is a freelance journalist, but I mean, honestly, Peter, because of what's happened to me in the past, I've had stories coming up about from way back. I had a very, everybody could find it. I had a very, very traumatic time with my health, mental health, because of my physical health. I lost my careers, and I was suicidal. And the media, basically, the first time I got arrested because I tried to end my life, and I was rescued from the sea 3 times. And when I got to court, the prosecution said 30 times. 3, 30. Big difference. Because they said 30, I was sent to prison. Because my lawyer didn't challenge the number. So the media went with what the court said. The media exaggerated. The media lied. Didn't want to know about the truth. So I have a bit of an allergic reaction when anybody talks about media, even if it's, with my story, I just don't believe that they're ever going to say what actually happened. It just feels as though, well, I just don't trust it. I don't trust anybody now, but I mean, the media especially. So yeah, I've had a couple of people reach out to me from the media, but I don't. I was going to talk to Tommy. I was going to have he was going to come and see me.
Well, that's not going to happen now.
And what I don't understand is, where are this is what I'm saying. I've said it again. I'm going to say it again. Especially with somebody like Tommy, who's, he should have a decent solicitor. Why hasn't the solicitor questioned the charges? Because it's obvious with what he was told on the street and what was told to us when he got to where he was, which was completely different. Why didn't anybody say, excuse me, no, that wasn't what, no, you said he was arrested for that. And now when he gets into this area, when he comes 2 miles away, well, same thing. I mean, my thing, they changed what I was arrested. By the time I got to the station, it was something else. So, but I didn't have anybody. But I would say somebody like Tommy, you don't even have to be a great solicitor. You just have to know basics. So if you get charged with that and it's not actually happened, then you shouldn't be arrested. That doesn't seem to exist anymore. Everybody seems to just say, well, okay, where's the defense attorney? Where's the defense lawyers? Where are they?
Yeah, no, and that is the worrying thing, that justice and the rule of law isn't really implemented as it should be nowadays. And yeah, I have a fear of Titans here. He writes in the super chat here. Thank you so much. He writes, even though we might have rivalry because I'm from Spain, you're a Brit right now. I stand with you. He writes. Thank you so much for the super chat. And we also have I like the Spike Man. He also writes here in the super chat. Please give donations to this fine woman who's standing for Britannia. God bless the both of you.
Oh,
is that anything you have any donation up where people can help you with the legal costs or anything like that, or is that anything you've been considering?
That's my biggest fear. I am desperate to find somebody who will actually defend me, try and help me. And obviously, I'm unfortunately, I don't have finances, and people are offering to help, which is, it's awful to be in this position. It is really embarrassing to be in this position, but I'm in a position, and so if anybody can help with anything, I absolutely am so grateful.
I know a good website you can use to get funding if you need. I can send a link to you later if you want to set it up, and then people can you can put that on Twitter and people can find it. I can link it as well if people want to help you. So
I have done to PayPal, but
sorry,
I think it's PayPal that they.
There's other sites that are better than PayPal that you could use. I can
send you a website, basedamy.com. There's a donation thing there to help. But
oh, you have a website?
I've got basedamy.com.
Okay. Well, I'll leave a link. To your website. So everyone watching this, if you want to find her website, I'll leave a link to her website after the stream is finished. Basedamy.com, and that's where people can support you if you need.
But I might actually, what your thing might be better for me to use, because I don't really feel confident with the one on the PayPal. I'm not sure about that. I've heard, people saying that there might be an issue with it. So if you know something better, anything that anybody can do, I really am, because I feel I've never felt so vulnerable in my life in my own home. I just, and I the thing is that it happens. There's no warning. They don't. Obviously, they're not going to tell you if they're coming to arrest you. You know, it's like, excuse me, 5 o'clock, come in. And usually, you have to do something wrong to expect even to be arrested. But you know, hey, who cares
No,
about
I'll definitely leave a link to your website in the description below when the stream is finished, so people can find you and help you out. So everyone watching this, remember that when the stream is finished, I'll put a link below so you can find her website and go and visit her. And also, I like the Spikeman again writes here that you should reach out to Count Dankula's lawyer. You know Count Dankula, maybe he could help. His lawyer maybe could help you as well. That could be an option. I have contact with Count Dankula, so I could maybe ask him for you if you want to see if you can get anything sorted.
So I heard there's apparently, by the way, sorry, I'm just changing the subject. I just think about it. There's a Tommy. Apparently tomorrow at 3 o'clock. There's a
yes. There is at Downing Street at 3 o'clock tomorrow. There's going to be a demonstration in support of Tommy Robinson. So.
And I also saw at 12 o'clock tomorrow in London, there's a march from, this is what I think the connection from Parliament Square to the South African embassy, because of the bloody nightmare that's going on in South Africa that nobody in the outside world seems to care about for the white farmers, and the people are being slaughtered there. There's a march tomorrow. I saw. So, and then at 3 o'clock, so I might be going to London tomorrow, Peter. I might just, bob up in my, decrepit state to just, free Tommy, baby! We got to get him out. I think we need people. We need the good people of Britain, where there's millions of good people. The time is now to make yourselves be seen and heard, because the media aren't going to be there. The government certainly is, but numbers. I mean, when the DFLA, we were marching, we walked through London. I know the media completely ignored us, but it was seen. It was seen from the outside world. But the time now, with the abuse of power that's going on, the people, we have to, those of us who know what's going on, we've got to be seen. We've got to rally together and get together and just en masse, go to the blooming Parliament and just.
You have to show your support that you don't accept the way things are, and that's what people have to do: take out to the streets in protest and show the politicians what you mean.
But visually, optics of you see thousands upon thousands of people saying, what is going on? This is not right. We are in a democracy. We have the rule of law, which is supposed to protect our individual rights of being free and being able to say. I mean, they say in the free, we have technically speaking, Peter, we do have the freedom of speech. 29J of the Public Order Act, Section 3, 29J, blah, 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 gives us an absolute right of freedom of speech. Before that, in section, or they've added little this, and that, and the other, it's all this hate speech stuff. But bizarrely, you've still got that whole thing that says you can criticize, you can say you don't like, you hate it, you think it's disgusting, you can say whatever you want, whether anybody's religion, their attitude, you have the total freedom. And it's still there in the law. And that's where I'm wondering where these lawyers are, the defense solicitors, lawyers who care about civil rights, our freedoms. Where the hell are you? Get out and start doing your bloody job. Because it's going to affect everybody. This is what's so weird, Peter. People are still in this sort of, it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to Yes, it's going to.
It is happening to everyone now. First they go after Tommy, Lawrence Southern, all of those guys, and then it goes further and further down. That's tactic they use.
Couldn't come because he's, doesn't like people. Brittany, Martin, and even the people like Robert Spencer, Pamela Geller, Bridget Gabrielle, all these peaceful people.
Gert Wilders wasn't allowed to visit the UK either.
I mean, what is going on, guys? What I'm saying is, we need to get out there because nobody's listening. The media isn't listening. But if we try and do some kind of gathering of thousands of people who really care of what is actually going on, and we know we have to get out and gather and protest, because just talking to each other, and the problem is as well, Peter, is that there's all these little groups. It's like there's 5 different little groups that all have the same objective, but because they're in the little groups, it doesn't really look like much. You need to stop with the little groups and just let's get one, freedom movement going, gather together and just get on with it and just say enough is enough. Enough's enough. We've got to save our country, save our democracy. It's gone.
Yeah,
It's gone.
no, that's the thing I've seen in the UK. There's also these different so-called right-wing groups that just keep on fighting each other. If they were said more united, then maybe you could get more things done and be a lot more effective. That's just my opinion. We've been going for about an hour now here.
Oh my God! Sorry,
I think we should start to wrap this up, maybe.
I could talk for yeah. It's the Italian, Irish, Scottish. That's the American. Yeah, it's all that blood in me.
No, I'll just want to have a super chat here as well from Cave Creature. He writes, "Still saving you a spot on the island." I'm not 100% sure what he means by that, but thank you so much. And yeah, I think we're going to start trying to wrap this up. We're going for an hour, and I think we got the. I think you got your story quite well here, especially in the beginning. So people, it's important this story gets out what happened, because it can happen to anyone.
Just watch the video. Watch the video, guys. It's my Periscope is Amy_crazyworld with capital ACW. If you watch the video that says police and it's exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, that it did happen. It's happened as it happened, and yeah, we're in trouble.
Yeah, no, I'll link to your sites in below so people can find you, and
pray for Tommy.
Yeah, yeah, no, and so thank you everyone for tuning in. Make sure to hit the like button on the video and subscribe, and also follow Amy on her Twitter, and visit the website as well. I'll have the links in the description below. So
thank you.
Yeah, I think it's been a good discussion about the state of the UK right now. So yeah, we'll wrap this up here. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye everyone.
Thanks a lot.